When you hear about universities, what runs through your mind? Majority will talk about fun, partying, new freedom, far from home. In everyone's dream, there's that dream that I want to go to the university, but do you know what to expect? Today, in studio we have Nahashun Juma, who is from Kibabu University, who will be talking about life in the universities. My name is Maureen Wambere, and this is the Ultimate Hour Show. Welcome. Karibu sana. Welcome. How are you?
Very fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have you today.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you're also glad to be with me today.
Very, very glad.
Okay, you can start by telling us when you joined the university.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much once again. This is Nashin Juma. I'm a fourth year student at Kibabu University. I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree in journalism and mass communications. I joined Kibabu University in 2016. That was then.
Okay.
I think you are somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So by joining in 2016, what was your expectation of life in the university?
Maureen, indeed, gone. In fact, if I may just recall from what I had in high school, when our teachers used to, inspire us that you just work hard and go to campus. Campus life is so sweet. And so we got fascinated, and at the end of it all, with bearing in mind that life in campus is so sweet and enjoyable, there is a lot of freedom. And so we worked hard, and God willing, we came to campus. More than I tell you, when I came to campus, I found that things at the ground were very different.
Yeah.
Very, very different. Because talking about freedom, yes, it's there. But I've seen a situation whereby that freedom, it all matters with how you take it. If you utilize it well, then good on your side. But if you misuse it, then it only lands you in trouble.
All right. So, do you think that, according to you, the freedom is right to be in university? Is it right to have the freedom, or it's letting our students down?
Maureen, it's a two-way traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's both good and bad. To begin with the good, freedom should be there, and it's there indeed to ensure that because university means a universal education where you can do anything that you deem fit. So the freedom comes with a lot of expectations and a lot of benefits. Just to mention but a few is that you get to interact with a lot of people. Because some of us, are in those village high school or village secondary school. Someone was in, let's say someone comes from a place like Maseno. So they happen to have gone to Maseno Nursery, Maseno Primary, Maseno Boys High School, and then all of a sudden they find themselves in Kibabu University, which is actually in Bungoma. So being in university, that freedom gives you an opportunity then to interact with people from all walks of life. Then second would mean that you get a lot of opportunity to do a lot of research, and also there is a universal library, because in fact in Kibabu University we got the best library in East and Central Africa, but do we say it's there. And so that freedom comes with even a lot of excitement. On the other side, the second, the negative side of it, some take that freedom for granted. They get into relationships that were not planned for, which only end up letting them into trouble. And the second would mean they even hook up with the wrong company, which makes them even land into aspects like drug and substance abuse. The other one would mean, they get into aspects of sponsorship. Ladies like, I was so much held up, there was so much security tight. There was 24-hour CCTV surveillance while at home. But now that I'm in campus, I'm going to use this opportunity to hook up with as many of the opposite sex as possible. And so due to financial constraints, they end up in hands of sponsors who only end up misusing them.
All right. So, according to you, if you're given the opportunity to change life in campus, you could reduce the level of freedom in the university.
Oh, I won't even touch on the freedom, but I would just go ahead, to educate the youth, especially the university students. We need just to have a shift in the spectrum of the mind, and this I would say a total turnaround insofar as the mental capacity is concerned. Because if you look at the issue in hand, you'd find that it's just an aspect of how the brain, how the makeup of the mind. If you're clear in mind, you'll make very sober judgments. But if you're not clear there, you'll find that you'll end up making unsober judgments. So given the opportunity, I'll just go at the ground and educate these youth on matters concerning freedom, how they can use it more effectively to their future, and of everything that falls in campus.
According to statistics, it said that in university,
Yeah.
this is whereby most of the people create most of their lifelong friends. Is it true? So far, since you joined in 2016, can you tell me you've made so many friends compared to when you are in high school, primary, and so on?
Surprisingly, as many enemies as friends. I know.
Okay.
Campus is very tricky.
Yeah,
Week 1, you hook up with a fellow fresher.
yeah.
That relationship only ends for 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
The next week, you get into some second year, because there is always the aspect of gold rush in campus. Gold rush is a slang in campus whereby there is always what we call the freshers' night. Yeah. So when the freshmen and women come in, those are the first years.
Yeah.
Whenever they come in, they are oriented. Then comes the celebration, the freshers' night.
Yeah.
And during that night, a lot of things happen. And that's where you might find that someone who, I'm sorry to mention this, came in the university as a virgin but loses the virginity while during the freshers' night. It happens. Facts are always sacred, but they must just be said. And the second one would mean, yes, there is that fourth year
Yeah.
who now lets go of the third year girlfriend and rushes for the pressure. And since the fresher is a very innocent lady or a very innocent young man out there, is still in that aspect of confusion and all matters of freshness, now goes ahead to link up, only to be booted the very
Okay.
next semester.
Okay, so do you know, once you come into the university, you find people whom you have the same ambitions, the
Sure.
same temptations, the same desires. Was in high school, now I'm in campus. Now I can do what I want. I want to go partying and everything. Do you party yourself?
Myself, I believe that bad company ruins good morals. So as far as I'm concerned, I stick to my principle. And by them, Maureen, many people have been getting a challenge. Because yes, they have principles that the company that they get hooked up into and makes them end up losing their principles to even to to the downest level possible. Because you find that yes, you are this principal lady, but the moment you come into campus, you hook up with some friends. If you are not partying, even during your childhood, you didn't even party when you are still in in high school. But when the moment you join campus, you find that it's party after party. And so you join those friends who are after party, then you end up partying. But as far as I'm concerned, I lay my principle and I follow them strictly, just as the train follows it.
So you don't party?
I don't.
Why? And you know, most of the students will say, like what? Life in campus, how can I not party? I have to party, have fun while you're still young. As they always quote. Why not party? You should party.
I always, before I even, get into a situation, I always sit at some corner and ask myself, what are the do's and the don'ts? Is there any benefit that shall accrue to this? On the other side, is there any other disadvantage that shall accrue to this? Having done that, then I put them on a level ground and I soberly make a decision. I'm looking at a matter of whereby I might go partying, yes. Then I'm this kind of a guy who would be like, I won't take alcohol, I'll only take Coke. Today you will take Coke. Tomorrow you will take Coke with something, a diluted, you understand?
Yeah.
The next week, it will be kidogo too, just a sip.
Yeah.
And before you realize it, you'll be into it full blown.
Okay, so you want to mean that those who are in university are partying, they are immoral?
No, not that immoral,
Yeah.
but it's just how it's taken.
Okay.
Because even immorality itself is quite discussable.
Okay.
It brings a lot of debates on whether this is immoral or not. It depends with how someone takes it. But soberly seated somewhere, I would view it that indeed, if your mother or your father is at home,
Yeah.
and they believe that Maureen is right now in campus, they have a lot of expectations. They're like, our Maureen, we know her. We knew her while she was still young up to where she is right now. We know her character so well, and we believe. And whether you knew that your parents keep on praying for you. And they are these kind of parents who will pray and will have a lot of expectation. They will say that we want our Maureen to stay soberly in campus, and after that, she'll get employed and she'll give back to the society.
Okay.
That is the expectation.
Yeah.
But I sometimes just look into this campus Maureen and wonder that would there be a situation whereby your parents seated at home would be given a 24 CCTV hour surveillance, a footage of how their child operates in campus taken to them, they'll totally disown.
Okay.
They'll be like, I think this is not the Maureen we know. And so I always even urge my friends that it's high time, we hold to the expectation even of our parents. Let's just stay soberly for the good of the future.
All right, as Juma is saying, we should always hold up to what our parents expect of us. Do the right thing. As much as you have freedom in the university, remember that there's a tomorrow that you are creating in the university. This has been the Ultimate Hour Show with me, Maureen Ombere. Stay tuned for more after this short commercial break.
When you need some company, you can chill with me. We can make sweet memories. If you ride with me, I will be there. I will be there. Say you'll be there every day. 'Cause I'm here.
Karibu Betin.
Betting on you, I'm betting on you.
Welcome back. We've been talking about the life in the university. As I said, we know that everyone's dream, majority of the people's dream, is to go to the university. And in studio, we still have our guest, that is Juma from Kibabi University, who told us that he joined the university in 2016 and he's still moving. There's always hope in the university. You can still interact with us through our social media handles. That is on Facebook at Wamberemo and also on Twitter at Wamberemo. Welcome. Okay. So you're saying that you don't party. Now let's go to this part whereby you find that you have to wake up at every day. No one is waking you up. You've come from the university. You've come from high school. There's no bells in campus. How do you cope with life now that you know that at 2 I have a class, at this time I have a class, I have to be in class at a certain time? How do you cope with all that?
Well, thanks for the question. Like you mentioned, in high school there is a bell.
Yeah.
And that bell used to be nasty. At
Yeah.
times it rings at 4. And by the way, I usually wonder what went wrong in campus, back in high school. Because the moment that bell rang, you could find yourself, you're very bitter, you wake up, you're clicking, you get to class for morning preps. We used to call it dawns. But surprisingly, you end up sleeping the entire morning prep. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. But now, this is campus.
Yeah.
There is no bell. And mark you, there is no even the assembly bell, for announcements.
Yeah.
Our announcements are posted on the notice board. So they'll only be gotten there. And then the second one would mean that there is no bell for classes. Meaning that indeed you just have to get to class insofar as you are concerned. Just make up your mind and attend your classes. Yes, the freedom part of it also comes in handy with some advantage that you can either choose to go to class or not.
Yeah.
Well, but that is also on the two perspectives. Perspective number one, if you don't go to class, yes, you'll enjoy life. You'll enjoy listening to your woofer in your hostel.
Okay.
Or even go partying in Bungoma town. If you get to class, that would be the better part of it because you'll catch up with the lectures. But I think it's also just a matter of decision.
Yeah.
You just make up your mind that as far as I'm concerned, I need to attend these lectures because they'll end up earning to your marks. At the end of the day, you need a clean transcript. If you don't go to class, if you don't get the concept right, you'll end up getting supplementaries. And in campus soup is real.
Yeah.
That's what we were never told in high school, that there is supplementary.
Yeah.
We were just told that, just go, you will enjoy life. There is nothing like enjoying life here. It's that kind of strict, especially for those people who know what they need to do. And something to mention about the same would be, yes, there is the power of social media, and thanks to it, by the way. Yeah, online has made things even much simpler because there is what we call the class representative. Who has all your numbers, and there is a WhatsApp group that is created. So that would mean that if there is any class, you'll get a notification through your mobile phone. Yeah, the social media account, that is WhatsApp, the group.
Okay.
So that would make even matters simpler. Suppose there is no class, the lecturer is kind of held up, who won't be attending class, you'll still get the notification there. So things are even made simpler, courtesy of social media.
What about if I don't have a smartphone? I cannot access the WhatsApp group. Yeah, what can I do if I
Yeah,
join
with
your
your
class?
with your mulika mwizi.
Yeah.
I think you have your class rep's number. You can still use the analog SMS.
Okay.
It's still possible.
Okay, in high school, we made so many memories of preps as you're talking, going to preps, you find yourself sleeping, you're punished together, such. You want to the top layer of the food
Oh.
every now and then. Now, in university, what memories have you made so far?
Well, in campus, I've interacted with a lot of people, people who hold to different different thoughts. Yeah, because your mental formula is kind of different from someone else.
Yeah.
You came from this kind of high school, you're in campus. Someone came from some village secondary school somewhere in the interior parts of Kirinyaga. Is now here.
Okay.
Someone else like me comes from the remote areas of Mwatate. That's in Taita Taveta. I always call that Mwisho wa Dunia. Where there is no electricity, there is no tarmac road. Tarmac road ends at Voi. Yeah, and the rest is just a village. And I'm also here. So it's an opportunity even to interact with people from different walks of life, people who hold to different mantra, and that will be the thought mentality. And then the second one, I'll still make memories of, those nice classes. You attend class, and it's not even a class, it's a lecture. And it's an opportunity even to interact with a professor. In high school we didn't used to see those professors, but in campus now we interact with the professors, we interact with the doctors, we even learn new things, new terminologies. You hear of units. Those days they just used to be subjects.
Yeah.
You see, and there is also just the positivity of being in campus. You feel like, wow, so there is no school ahead. That's
okay.
it.
Like on Twitter, I have Jane who is saying that I'm also a student in Kibobi University. We're about to graduate, but I have missing marks of 7 units. I'm stressed. What do I do? If you're Jane, what could you do?
Well, I used to have this grandmother of mine.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got good memories because even I was this kind of a guy who was like, when I was growing up, like when I grew up I want to be a lawyer, and here I am in Kibabi University. I'm studying journalism.
Yeah.
Things on ground are different, my friend. Well, so I used to see my grandmother come with some small broom and sweep the cobweb. Get away. Tomorrow still come and sweep the cobweb. And I was like, but my grandmother is so much struggling. One day I timed the spider and killed it. And for a week there was no cobweb.
Okay.
And my grandmother came and was like, oh, nowadays I don't see that particular cobweb here. I was like, oh, I killed the spider. Meaning I solved the problem head on. Yeah, so with reference to the question that you just asked, there are many people who usually think that they are treating the disease, yet they are only treating the symptom. Missing mark, it is real in campus, and that's very unfortunate, by the way. It emanates from two things. One is the mistake of the student, or two is the mistake of the lecturer in charge.
Okay.
If it's the mistake of the student, it would mean she didn't sit for examinations. Yeah, and if indeed she sat for them, there is some error as far as the exam is concerned. And if at all is the issue, let's say her part is very clean, then the issue would be the lecturer in charge.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm glad that you gave. I'm glad that you have got an opportunity to talk to the students, those who are joining the university. At least now they have a clear picture of how life is in the university. I hope you'll still join me next time when it comes to matters of the university. I wish you all the best in your endeavors in the university. This has been the Ultimate Time Show. This has been the Ultimate Hour Show with me, Maureen Wambere. We have discussed about the university life, about knowledge, how you'll get the opportunity to make new friends, how you'll be able to learn, acquire more knowledge in matters of life. We hope you take care of yourselves as you join the university. Stay tuned for the next episode of the Ultimate Time Show.